We have this belief that we only need to take something seriously if we're in some level of success or some amount of danger. This means that many of us ignore our health because we're feeling okay. And then when we get some advice from the doctor that things are going in a bad direction, unless they're ready to give us medication or send us for surgery, we still kind of act like it doesn't matter. For myself, I always did know that the inflammation and, well, the pain in my joints was a bother and a problem. I really didn't start investigating how else to solve the pain in my joints until my hip pain happened. Now, I will admit that the only reason I even investigated this is because there was no fall or sport that had happened prior that I was able to say, okay, that's where the pain is coming from. And that caused me to believe that there was something else wrong. And I started to investigate. Had I had a fall, I'd probably still be in pain today. So, what happens if I choose to go on a diet because I want to lose weight? For most people, that's not catastrophic. That's a logical thing to do if I've gained weight. Will I put in the energy and will I take it seriously like I should? So, for example, I'm on this diet, there's a birthday or a holiday or a weekend. Will I stick to my diet? For many of us, that's enough of a reason to pause my new healthy way of eating because it's the weekend. Unfortunately, there's another problem that walks beside this problem, which is this. I've just started this diet. I'm a few days or maybe weeks into the diet. I'm not really seeing success yet. So therefore, I don't have motivation to stick with it because it's not working yet. And so therefore, I'm doing it sometimes, but I'm not really doing it other times and back and forth. Do we see that we're actually setting ourselves up to fail? Because I don't actually start the diet unless there's a huge problem and I'm already in trouble with my health, or I start the diet, but I'm not committed because, well, it's not working yet. So, and in both of these cases, I'm giving myself reasons, I'm giving myself excuses to eat poorly rather than put my health first. Wellness warriors, if you want to manage your weight, it's important for you to improve your health. On Mind Blowing Health and Wellness with Violet, we work on the mindset necessary to accomplish that goal. Subscribe, ring the bell so that you can get on the road to health. Begin with the end in mind. Being on YouTube, watching a lot of YouTube, I've heard this said over and over, and I realize that it absolutely applies in weight loss, in better health. What's the outcome that I'm actually looking for? I want to live my life at a healthy weight. How will I accomplish living my life at a healthy weight? I would need to eat healthy foods. How will I know what healthy foods I should be eating? I'd have to create a healthy diet plan, which means I'd have to do some research to find out what should go into my healthy diet plan. There's 4 things I need to do in order to get to that end goal. Are we doing those things? Wellness warriors, the issue is happening at step 1. The research that we're doing to find the foods that we should be eating, we don't take it seriously. It's very often that people will have knowledge that carbohydrates, for example, cause inflammation. And yet when I discuss with them what they're actually eating, they will tell me they're eating large amounts of carbohydrates. And then when we have the conversation and they are expressing to me that they're fully aware of this, there's always a but. But there was a holiday, but there was an event, but there was a weekend, but they're not taking the impact of carbohydrates on the body seriously. They're not taking the length of time that it takes our body to recover from eating poor quality foods seriously. At phase 1, if we don't have impending doom, my doctor wants to put me on medication or my doctor wants to do a surgery, then we allow ourselves to excuse eating poor quality foods. Create a diet plan. Step 2. And I'm creating a diet plan, but then I'm allowing myself to not engage the diet plan again because there's no impending doom or it's not working yet, so I'm not sure. Or it's really important for us to understand that something cannot work if I'm not actually doing it. If I'm trying to build muscle and I go to the gym today and I work really hard, but then I don't go to the gym for a month, I'm not going to have success because I'm not actually going to the gym and I'm not actually doing the thing that will build the muscle. Eating food is the same way. It's not just about doing the research, but then eating whatever. It's about doing the research, figuring out what foods you should be eating, and eating them. And this is the place where I see a lot of people make mistakes because they'll tell me, I tried that, it didn't work. But when I ask them more questions, I'll get they did it for a week, or they did it for 2 weeks, or maybe even they did it for 2 months. But while they were doing it for the 2 months, they weren't doing it every day. Or then you're not really trying it. You're not really doing it. You're not like, if I want to have results from something, I need to follow through. One of the issues that I see is because we don't understand how food affects us, then we don't understand what brings success and what brings failure. If I do a bit of research and I find a few recipes and the person who wrote these recipes says, well, I ate this and I lost weight, and I'd say, oh, I'm going to follow this food plan. I print it out and I follow it. Even if I follow it perfectly, unless I plan to only eat that going forward in time, I still need to understand why the foods that I ate in this food plan led to my weight loss. Part of the problem that I want us to solve as wellness warriors is understanding that it's not about blindly following steps and hoping that it will work. Because now we're back to that place of, if there's not a huge problem, I might not engage with this. Versus if I truly understand that carbohydrates, for example, cause inflammation, or if I truly understand that when I eat more carbohydrates than my body can manage in this moment, my body stores them away as fat. Or if I understand that if I eat a reasonable amount of carbohydrates with a lot of fat beside it, my body will still have too much energy and therefore need to store some of that away as fat. If I don't truly understand how food's impacting me, I won't know how to create delicious meals that keep me healthy and build the healthy body that I'm trying to build. I will still be storing excessive amounts of energy in the form of fat on my body, and I will be frustrated. I want us to put down this idea that I will only take it seriously when I see results, that I will only take it seriously when there's impending doom. I want us to put that idea down, and I want us to rather look at the idea of, I can improve my health and I can improve my life because I want to, because it's possible. I want us to look at the idea that even if I'm doing amazing, I could choose to do 2% better. These are ideas that help us to feel great, not just good or mediocre. Working on me always, because there's probably something I could be doing a little better. And finding that enjoyable because it means that Violet gets to be a healthier version of herself than she would have been if she wasn't working on these things. It's amazing to me the time, energy, and effort that people will put into improving their golf score, improving their video game score, but not put in that same time, energy, and effort into improving their health by eating better quality meals. We invest in our hobbies, and we also need to see investing in our health as just as important. A very frustrating side effect of not taking my health seriously is that I might allow myself to eat something off plan, and then because I'm not taking my health seriously, I'm not looking at how did that food just affect me, and I might miss the fact that eating that whatever reintroduced cravings, and now I'm chasing food again. And oftentimes I will hear people tell me that they were doing good for so long and then had a cookie or had some ice cream or had a piece of chocolate and woo, back into it. And it's because I didn't take seriously the impact of eating off plan. I'll take it seriously when it's working, or I'll take it seriously when I have medical issues, is me saying that it's okay to eat garbage. I'm looking for an excuse to eat carby, garbagey food. Wellness Warriors, I want you to see your health as much more important than eating something fun. I want you to see your health as the most important thing you have, because honestly, that's what allows us to have fun on this planet. Being able to use my body the way that I want to run around with the kids, hopefully the grandkids, hopefully the great grandkids, is what allows us to truly enjoy life. There is no good reason to eat unhealthy foods. As soon as I understand that food that I eat builds my body, every food that I eat is somehow contributing to the building of my body. I want you to think about that. Is there a reason for me to eat a cookie or cake or donuts, and then that's what's building my body? Wellness Warriors, if I build my body with poor quality food, and I hate calling that stuff food, then I'm building a poor quality violet. And I'm asking you guys to consider that that's a bad idea. Let's give our bodies the best quality building blocks that we can so that we can have the healthiest, strongest versions of ourselves that we can. Wellness Warriors, evaluate your goal. We can give our money away to food companies, drug companies, or we can build the healthiest, strongest versions of ourselves that we can. If you're new here and you're wondering what to eat, how to get started, this video is going to help you out. Love making these videos for you guys. I want to thank you for watching Mind Blowing Health and Wellness with Violet, and I really can't wait to talk to you guys again next week.